put in the hashtag God, Guns, and Constitution, and that video or that picture is going to pull up. And then all you have to do is hit retweet, and then it's multiplying it. I'll give you an example. When I was doing a lot of grassroots work for Rick Santorum, right before Iowa, he brought in a woman from Indiana. She's wonderful, Shelley Ollismeyer. And she started setting up, recruiting people to be Twitter people for Santorum. And I became Team Santorum X on Twitter. And from about a week before Iowa to right after Iowa, I had done over 2,000 tweets pushing out content on Rick Santorum, positive content. But I was just one of 50 because there was Team Santorum Louisiana, Team Santorum Oklahoma. There were 50 of us. And what the left does, brilliantly by the way, is they are pushing out all this content around someone that they're trying to take on. So you'd see all this information about Rick Santorum that was negative and really not true information. And so they were pushing out that information with his name attached to it. And so there were so many of them doing that, that's all that showed up. And that's what the media saw because they're following Twitter. So by coming in and organizing and putting people in place to do tweets, positive information, positive tweets on Santorum, we were able to increase his online presence on Twitter over 300% in just a couple of weeks. So that's the power that we have. Raise your hand if you're the media. Yes, you're right. So the media is not here. The media is not covering this event. They don't want necessarily to hear our voice or to hear what's on these panel discussions. So we've got to become the media. We've got to push the information out there. And that's the power that we have with this phone, is we can organize and start pushing out information. And you know, I tell people, I can write a blog post, I can push out information, but your friends and neighbors don't know and love me. They know and love you. And they trust you. So if you're taking the time to learn about social media, if you're taking the time to come to events like this, all the video, all the photos, everything that's produced today is documenting what happened here today. And for your friends and neighbors who aren't here, you have the power to show them what actually happened today. And then they have the power to show their friends and their friends, and it multiplies. It's the power of compounding activists. That's the power that we have. Again, I said, we are not going to elect someone to save us. We have to save ourselves. And this is one tool that we have to do that. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
I am very anti-technology.
Okay, that's okay. I hear that a lot.
And when you said these tweets are going out, what makes us think that media will see it, or people that are kind of on the cusp will see it? How will our neighbors see it if they're not? I call them twits.
That.
Would you repeat this question for the panel?
Yes, he was asking, how are people going to see this? How is the media going to see this if we're just putting it out there? I will tell you, the media knows that this is happening. They're choosing not to show up here. And so, and maybe maybe they're busy. Maybe they're not in the fight like we are. But they know it's happening. So by producing content, all the media has to do, they don't even have to show up here. All they have to do is go to God, Guns, and the Constitution, to that hashtag, and follow what's happening. We're providing the content for them. How are our friends and neighbors? You asked, how are our friends and neighbors going to find out about this? We have to be bold enough to share it with them. So, I tell my friends, on my personal Facebook, I posted, I'm going to be going to God, Guns, and Constitution. If you can't come, follow on Facebook and see what's happening. We've got to be our own advocates and push it out there. When I write a blog post, I don't just expect that people know who I am or care what I'm putting in my blog post. But when I first started doing what I do, which probably about 4 years ago,